So an order of plants showed up the other morning, and I was concerned that they might arrive bare root since it wasn't specified in the listings. And I thought, I'm going to just pull out my lights and my camera and film what I do when a new plant like that shows up. So join me with a tasty beverage of your choice, close to hand, while we take a look at some new arrivals, some new rival potting, and a rescue. And before we get to all that fun, I've got a few things in bloom this week. First one up is my Hoya Lee, and it's doing really well. It's looking pretty good. It needs a drink, but it's got some beautiful blossoms, and I'll put close-ups of them over here on the side. Yeah, this one's doing pretty well for me. I finally found a spot that it likes, that it's not too bright, and where it can trail nicely, and yeah, it's been doing well. So those blooms are really pretty. There's a little bit of a scent. It's late afternoon, so it's probably not at full strength yet, but it smells a little bit like good old-fashioned soap, in a good way, not in a bad way, just like fresh and clean. So yeah, so that's Hoya Lee. And the other one that's in bloom, and I'll have to put in some footage because it's hanging over here, and I didn't feel like taking it down and moving it around, but that's my Hoya Mathilde. And it's loaded with peduncles. There's one in bloom, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's at least a dozen others that are going to be following in rapid succession. So I'll put some close-ups of the blooms over here and a little bit of video about the plant itself. But it's doing really well. It likes it out here in the summer. It gets late afternoon sun, and it's a little more humid. Right now, the relative humidity is 53%, and the temperature is 79 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, come on, says it's 16.4 degrees centigrade. Nope. Finally reset. 25.3 degrees Celsius. So yeah, that's cool. And it likes it out here. So yeah, it usually blooms this time of the year, and with luck, you've seen pictures of all that. So yeah, that's who's in bloom this week. So when my package arrived, I opened it, and I couldn't tell, actually there were two packages, and you'll see them. I couldn't tell whether or not the plants were bare rooted. So sometimes a grower will slip the plastic pot off, wrap it in plastic, and ship them that way because it's lighter, costs them less money. And so I thought that may be what had happened. And if that was the case, then I wanted to get them into something stable as quickly as possible, just so that they didn't dry out or any of the possible things that could happen. So I had everything ready. I knew the order was coming. I got it all set up. And here's what happened on that morning. So I received some plants late last night and early this morning. And from the feel of the packaging, I think they may be bare root. So rather than letting them sit around for a couple days till I decided to record the next video, I'm going to cut these open and get them potted up because I'd like to get them out of their packaging and on their way to happy plantdom. So the first one, this is Anthurium forgetii, and I don't know what I'm going to find in here when I open this up. So, and usually I hate plant unboxing videos, but I wanted to get these out. So, yes, okay. And yes, they're in a little tiny pot. So I think I want to get them into self-watering as soon as I can. So what I'm going to do is get them out of this and show you what I typically do. Okay, yeah, they're in just a tiny little plastic pot. So I'm going to just pull them out. It's not too bad. The roots look good. The substrate is nice and healthy and moist. So all I'm going to do is go in with a chopstick and just kind of, I'm not going in and pulling, I'm just kind of picking it apart and letting it fall off. And it's doing that rather well. The chopstick is just, it can get into places that my fingers can't. And all I need to do is sort of break it up. Oh yeah, this is going big old chunk of pumice. Yeah, ooh, okay. So, again, I'm using a toothbrush. I'm not brushing the roots. I'm just using the really fine bristles to pick off some of the soil. It looks like it was a cocoa coir. Not surprising. So, okay. That went pretty well. So I've got most of the soil off. I'm not going to be crazy about it. And I'm going to put this in one of these little self-watering pots, because I don't want to put it in a huge pot. I think that'll be too much. So load it up with some pumice and set this gently on there. And then just fill in. A little wiggle to get the pumice to settle. Put in my indicator. And where's that? There we go. And a tag that I already prepared. And that's the first one. And that's Anthurium forgetii. And then the next one is Anthurium luxurians. So I would guess this is going to come in the same kind of pot. And this should be real easy to do as well. That's cool. I'm very happy that it was that easy to clear off the substrate. Okay. so that's the luxurians. And these were pretty, I was kind of pleased with the shipment. They were nicely wrapped up. There was no loose soil in the package. They were all wrapped up in this kind of clear cling film, stretch, saran wrap, whatever. And these are supposed to have wonderful, wonderful big texture when the leaves get big. So just gonna tip it out. Oh yeah. Okay. And I'm going to do the same process. I'm just going in and just loosening. I'm not going in and dragging. I'm just using the tip of this to break up substrate. Because these are all going to go in. Ooh, here we go. Self-watering. Oh, okay. It's got a really small root system, but the roots look really sturdy. Ooh, roots look very sturdy. Yeah, see? Get that to focus on those. It's not a huge root system, but those are like chunky roots, so that's all good. So again, same thing. I'm going to take the pot and add some rinsed pumice to it. This one I'm going to fill up most of the way. A little mound in the center there. And just set this little guy right there. So these are not their long care. Now I'm going to plant that a little deeper. These aren't their permanent homes. These are just their till we get them settled and happy, get them to recover from their journey. Yeah, that's better. A little bit more over here because there's a, there we go. Okay, put in my indicator and tag. And that's my new little Anthurium luxurians. And it looks like, yeah, that's okay. It's a nice little, I'm going to do it one more time because I'm still, it's a tiny little thing and I want all those roots to be underneath. And there was one that was kind of sticking out. Okay, that's better. Yeah. Yeah. Now all the roots are underneath the substrate. Okay. We're happier about that. So there it is. over there. Now I've got one more, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but let's see. It came securely packed, and this is an Anthurium hybrid, and it's a cross of Affinity besseae and antolakii. Antolakii used to be known as BVEP, which is Black Velvet Eastern Panama. And it's, I don't know if you'll be able to see, there's some good roots in there. It looks like it's in moss. It's in a cup with some batting. And it looks like there's a nice little chunky root in there. So I'm going to get this all ready. And what I will probably do, I'm going to give these a drink when I get them all. Let's see how that looks. So good job on packaging from these guys. Okay, so yeah, it's in. Ooh. Oh, yeah. So it is in sphagnum and nice roots on this. Really nice roots on this. I'm just going to try and gently pick out more of the sphagnum. Oh, yeah. Okay. Woohoo, those are some nice looking roots. I mean, wow. Wow. Very cool. Gonna pull out a little bit more of this sphagnum. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to try and create a little mound in the center of this, and then drape the roots, these gorgeous roots. Let's try that again. That one over there. That one down in there. That's a little bit better, I think. Okay. All right. So a couple nice leaves. I should try and get a picture of what the parents look like, which is the reason I bought this, because I saw pictures of the parents. So I'll see if I can snag those from the cellar. And again, I'm going to put in my little float indicator and this, and what is that? Let's get rid of that. And put its tag in. And yeah, so hold on for just a minute and I'll go get my watering. Okay, and now that I've got all three of those settled, what I'm going to do is give them all a drink with my nutrient solution. And I'm going to give till the float comes up to the halfway point. Okay, and I'm top watering these because I want to make sure that this solution is in the pumice that's next to the roots. Even though these are self-watering pots, still want to make sure that the solution is where the roots are. A little bit more, okay. And then what I will do is, I think I'm going to put plastic cups over the top of them just for a little bit to really make sure that stays nice and humid there. And these are just like 3-ounce plastic cups. They'll help just give it a little bit more of a little concentration of humidity. And yeah, and then every couple of days, I'll keep an eye on these because I'm going to keep them where I can see them. I'll go in with my lab bottle and just give a little squirt right around where the roots are. Now the hybrid had those monster roots on it, so I'm going to make sure I get it everywhere. But the other two that had the smaller sets of roots, I'm going to make sure that the pumice around where the roots are stays moist, has moisture in it, so these don't dry out. So yeah, so this one is forgetii, and this one is luxurians, and this one is the besseae antolakii cross. So we'll keep you posted on how all of those are doing. But yeah, that's how I decided to deal with these when they got here. Oh, and I'm not going to put these in bright light right away. I'm going to have them sitting here on my table on the porch, which is pulled back maybe 4 feet or 120 centimeters. That work out right? 6, 9, 12, 120 centimeters or so from any of the windows. These plants have all spent like 3 or 4 days in a box, so I don't want to blast them with bright light right away, but I do want to give them decent light. But yeah, whenever I get a plant that's been shipped, I never put it in bright light immediately. Give it a chance to readjust to brighter light after being in total darkness for a while. So yeah, that was the other note. And now that you've seen what I went through that morning, not what I went through, but what I did that morning, let's take a look at the plants and talk about them a bit. The first one up is my Anthurium forgetii, and it's native to Colombia. It was first published in 1906 in Gardener's Chronicle by Nicholas Edward Brown, and it's named after a plant collector by the name of Monsieur Forget. So the plant should probably be referred to as forgetii, because I was told that you try and maintain, if it's named after a person, you try and maintain the pronunciation of their last name in their native language when you're naming the plant. You're using the plant name, anyway, it seems to be doing really well. I don't know how well it shows up, but it came with all these leaves. There's a new leaf starting to come out right in there. And I'm really pleased about that. So it seems to have settled from its shipping and seems to be doing okay. And I did these on Saturday, got these on Saturday, so this is like 4 days later. So 4 days and we're seeing signs of a new leaf. That's very cool. As usual, I've been like topping these off every couple of days with a little bit of nutrient solution just to make sure the roots, because as you saw, the roots didn't go very deep, get a constant supply of moisture. So yeah, That's the Anthurium forgetii. And the next one I want to talk about is my Anthurium luxurians. And Anthurium luxurians is native to Colombia. It was first published in 2005 in Aeroidiana, the Journal of the International Aeroid Society, by Thomas Bernard Croat and Richard N. Chirino. And yeah, this one and the other one did really well in their travels. It probably won't, it'll be difficult to see, but it is putting out a second leaf right there that has started coming out since it arrived. So fingers crossed this one's going to do well too. This one has a great textured leaf. I should have a picture from the grower of what the leaves on the mature luxurians looks like. So yeah, excited about this. It seems to be doing well. It seems to have taken its move to this without any difficulty. So yeah, this one is Anthurium luxurians, and this one and the one before it, Anthurium forgetii, came from Bayside Plants on Etsy. And the next little guy, this is a hybrid, and it's a hybrid of Anthurium besseae affinity and Anthurium antolakii. And antolakii used to be known as BVEP, which is black velvet Eastern Panama. And when I saw the picture of the two parents, and I'll have pictures of the parents over here from the grower, I thought, that could be very interesting. And so I thought, let's give that a try. You don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but with parents like that, it could be kind of interesting. So yeah, this one too is, looks like there's a new leaf down in there that's just starting to make its way out, which would be very cool. This one came with a really nice set of roots on it, and it looks like it made its transition fairly well. So with all of them, all three of these little ones, I have them pulled a little bit back, probably a meter and a half, or maybe 4 to 6 feet back from my northwest facing window. So they're getting a very, very gentle light. But since they seem to have been making that transition really well, I'm probably going to move them closer to get them a little bit brighter light. I have a nice little shelf over there where I think they'll do really well. And I wanted to keep them, close where they're in visual range so I can check the moisture levels every day. But yeah, so this is a cross of Anthurium besseae affinity and Anthurium antolakii, and this one came from Hendon Houseplants on Etsy. Next one up isn't one that showed up as part of that shipment on Saturday morning, but it appeared recently, and this is my Anthurium clarinervium. Now, Anthurium clarinervium is native to Mexico, to southeast Mexico, specifically Quintana Roo, Yucatan, Campeche, Tabasco, and Chiapas. And it was first published in 1952 in Anales del Instituto de Biología de la Universidad Nacional del México, which is the Annals of the Institute of Biology of the National University of Mexico. It was published by A.Z. Matuda. And this is one that Kaylee Ellen has talked about as being another good, sturdy one. There's a little bit of damage in the shipping, but what can you do? That happens. But it's got these gorgeous leaves. And Kaylee Ellen says it's a good, sturdy grower. So I believe everything Kaylee Ellen tells me. And so I thought I'd give this one a try. The leaves have gotten progressively larger, and I have some close-ups of them. So I'm hoping, I know that in the end, these leaves can get a good 18 to 24 inches tall. So that's a good size. And 18 to 24 inches is like 45 to 60 centimeters, I think, if I've done that correctly. I've got this growing in self-watering pot and pure pumice. That has been working very well for me this summer. When I'd grown anthuriums before, not the what we call the Dutch anthurium, the common one, the Anthurium andrianum, that one did okay, but anything else I tried just didn't do well. And I thought, I've had such good luck with self-watering pots and an inorganic mix that I thought, let's just try that. And so far, this experiment this summer of pumice in a self-watering pot has worked really, really well. Next week's video is going to be updates on Hoyas and other plants, and you'll see just how thrilled I am with these. But yeah, we've got a new leaf coming in right here, which may be difficult to see, especially if I don't hold it in front of the lens. And with luck, it should be larger than this one. So we'll see. But yeah, they seem to be doing okay, so I'm happy with this. This one came from Cool Active Plants on Etsy, and this is my Anthurium clarinervium. Rescue plant, and here's a bit of video about what I did with that on the other morning. And since I was puttering to take care of those things, I decided I was going to take care of another long-term project. This is a rescue of a rescue. Years ago, I decided I wanted a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, sometimes called mini Monstera, but we don't do that, do we? No, it's Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. And so I found one on the scratch and dent aisle of a big box store, and it was beat up. It had had a rough life, but I knew I could fix it. So I did. I brought it home, planted it up, put it on a moss pole, and went on vacation and came back, and it had grown like crazy. It was a rampant grower, an aggressive grower. And at the end of the summer, I couldn't even bring it into the house. The roots had grown through the moss pole and come out the other side, and 2 or 3 feet on the other side. It was a beast, an absolute monster. And so I thought I would take cuttings from it and start it over again. So I did. And these were taken about 2 years ago. And most all of them didn't make it because I let it get dry. So I thought, what I'm going to do, there's one green one with leaves. I thought, I'm going to try and see if I can resurrect this. So, actually there's 2. So there's this one that's still green, and this one that's still green. And the rest of this I'm going to get rid of. And these have been growing in water for, well, when I remember to fill it up, for maybe 2 years. And it's been dry for, I don't know how long. Far too long. You know something? There's one more bit that's green, and I bet this grew so aggressively from an abused plant before that I'm betting I can do something with these. All right. So my thinking is I have an arched bamboo trellis. I think this will do better on that because I can keep looping it and it won't take over the world. So I ordered a large pot, and I'm going to fill it with pumice. It's a self-watering pot, and I can put that arched trellis in it and see if we can make this happen. So what I'm going to do, I have a different glass jar. I'm going to look at this, and it looks, I will admit, It looks like hell. But what I'm going to do is trim off what does look bad. And I'm going to see if I can bring this back. So settle that in the jar. This one, which also looks like hell. And the only reason I'm trying this is because when I grew this before, this, like I said, it was a beast, an absolute monster. And I want to try that again. So we're going to give this a shot. This is the experiment. So I trimmed off most of the dead stuff. I may even get a different jar for that, because it's short. And then this one, I mean, that's nothing more than a stick. So, but it's green. So we're going to try. Like I said, this is kind of a rescue of a rescue. What do we got down there? Well, can't hurt. Okay. So this one, I'm going to give it some of my nutrient solution. I'm actually going to, these aerial roots, get them as close as I can to and then I'm going to fill it the rest of the way with water. So it's a weak nutrient solution. Okay. And then, so that's that one. And then I think, I have a cup that doesn't have, not really. Well, that'll work. I'm going to put these other two pieces, where is it? There it is, into this little cup. And I'm going to give them some nutrient solution. This little cup has holes in the sides. I used it as part of a self-watering setup. So we're going to see what happens with those two. So they're settled in nutrient solution. So we'll keep you posted on how this Rhaphidophora experiment goes. It'd be fun if I could bring those back and create that little arched trellis thing. And yeah, because this was just, fingers crossed, because this was a really, really rampant grower. If you want something that's going to take off and grow like crazy for you, and look good doing it, because those leaves are kind of neat, Rhaphidophora tetrasperma is the way to go. So we'll keep you posted. And now a little bit about Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. It is native to Malaya in Malaysia and to Thailand. And it was first published in 1893 in the Flora of British India by Joseph Dalton Hooker. And there's a note on the herbarium sheet that says Perak, which is on the western side of the Malay Peninsula. So that's probably where Westerners or Joseph Dalton Hooker discovered it and noted it down. And the name tetrasperma comes from the Greek words tetra, meaning four, and sperma, meaning seeded. And I would have guessed that means there are 4 seeds when it, but I don't know, it hasn't done that for me yet. So this is a couple days later. I ended up cutting that one long vine into 2 because this one had better, fresher aerial roots. And I thought that would give this bit a better chance. This one, while it seems to be plumping up, the other section, while it seems to be plumping up, I wasn't sure it was actually going to make it. So I figured I'd just make it into 2 and maybe one of them will, but still fingers crossed on that one. This is This is a great plant. If you want something really jungly, I think I said it, but it's like, this is really cool. And the other one seems to have sparked up a bit. The leaves seem a little bit firmer, and while it hasn't put out any new growth, I did just spill half of it on me, because I used a cup that had holes in the sides as a self-watering thing. Anyway, it seems to be doing okay. The other one I put in here did not respond well, so we're going to see if we can make this work out anyway. But that's where they stand right now. So, yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to this week. And now it's time for question 4 of the comments. And that's going to be inspired by that most recent one, the Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. What's your favorite rescue story? It seems like almost everybody's got one. You see something on the scratch and dent shelves, or set off to the side, and you go, I could fix that. I can bring that back. So yeah, tell me one of your rescue stories. I've got a bunch of them, but tell me one of your rescue stories, and let us know how it's doing today. And as always, I want to thank you for choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me this week's end. Please remember to click on that thumbs up like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, and if you're on a mobile device, when you've finished watching everything and adding your comments, click on that hype button. All those things help affect the YouTube algorithm so that they recommend my channel to other people who haven't seen it yet. And it's your way of helping this channel grow. A lot of the products that you've seen me use are available on my Amazon storefront. There's a link in the description, or you can scan this QR code to visit the storefront. I receive a small commission on the sales, but it doesn't affect your price at all. And that's another way of helping to support the channel by buying things you might normally purchase anyway. If you're in the market for grow lights, I have a relationship with Sansi, and you can click on the link in the description or scan this QR code to visit their website. And when you do, if you purchase anything there and use this discount code at checkout, you'll receive a 30% discount from the prices on the site. I've been really happy with my Sansi grow lights. They've worked really well for me. I like the price point, and just the design factors are really cool. So I think you'll find them helpful to you as well. If you'd like to support the channel directly, there's a link in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee page, or you can scan one more QR code to visit the Buy Me a Coffee page. If you'd like to work with YouTube directly, you can click on the thanks button down here, and they handle all the processes for that. As usual, I'm going to put links to a couple more videos over here on the side, and please enjoy the rest of your week's end.